Hey everybody, welcome to episode 31 of I'm Not Confined, but I probably should be. And yeah, it's been a while since I've done one of these sit down and talk ones. Um, and I had something that I wanted to say today, and oh shoot, don't kick the camera. Sorry. Um, just was thinking when I was scrolling around online and just kind of contemplating the nature of people's online interactions. And like I said, I haven't done one of these kind of sit down and talk about things for a while. And I usually steer away from the more serious points of view. I think it's been since like episode 12 of Days of Confinement that I have kind of sat down and talked about things directly. And that one was filled with comedy because I did the restaurant scene, the aloof scene. But I'm not going to do that today because I just want to sit down for a couple minutes and talk about uh, the way I see certain online interactions. And to be truth, it's not just online interactions. It happens in conversations in real life and just people talking to each other. And it's not a new phenomenon. It's not a social media phenomenon. It's been a phenomenon forever. Um, because I can remember back years talking about this and having somebody come in and kind of spoil our party. But let me just start off by talking about what it is that I'm getting at. Is that whenever you see somebody or hear somebody talking like a social justice concern, um, those things that when people talk about social justice warriors, those things that they're talking about, the things that tell you that are really just anti-bullying, in one way or another. Social justice tends to be against racism or sexism or gay hate. Um, yeah, I like to use the term gay hate more than I do homophobia. I don't use homophobia anymore, and I'm not going to be using it. At least I'm going to be trying not to use it. I may revert back occasionally just from habit, but I don't like that term because phobia is a fear, right? And it's a thing that it is irrational, uncontrollable. That's what all fears are. Fears are not something that you have rational control of. You can look at it rationally out the outside and say, well, it's just a spider. It's not that big a deal. But when the spider comes near you, you freak out. And when you talk about homophobia, when you talk about somebody being phobic, um, and make their actions about fear and not anger, which is what they really are, you can kind of make the person who is phobic into the object of pity and not responsible for their own actions, and that really isn't the case. I know no one who is a gay hate advocate who is afraid. I mean, the bakery that wouldn't make the wedding cake for the gay couple, or the photographers that won't take the pictures of the lesbians for their Valentine's Day photo shoot, they weren't turning away the business because they were terrified of being in the room with gay people. I mean, they didn't find out these people were gay and then start hyperventilating and jump behind the counter of their businesses in the fetal position, you know, insisting that they go away. This wasn't fear. This is all anger. This is people who are angry that certain people have rights that they don't think that they should have, and they're being petulant about it. No, I'm not going to take part in this. And you know, that's that's not fear. That's something else. And I'm really off on the rails. This is not the subject I wanted to talk about. So let me steer back a little bit here. That's a TED talk for another time. Um, anyway, my point is that when someone is fighting bullying in the form of racism or sexism or gay hate, any other type of marginalization, um, invariably someone will come along and they will say something to the effect of, why don't you just get over it? Or, you should grow a thicker skin. Or, don't take it so personally. And look, I get that we are a culture of hyper awareness, and we see microaggressions and everything in a lot of cases. Um, Hell, I mean, with people's conditioned and unconscious biases, you can be insulting somebody without even knowing you're doing it. And yes, sometimes it's important to take a step back and realize that not everything is an aggression. Um, but I mean, we operate on the independent level, right? You and I to each other, one on one. It's really easy to not be that jerk to somebody. Somebody comes up to you and introduces themselves as Richard, and you go around calling them Dick, and they say, "Look, please stop calling me Dick. I find that offensive. That's not my name." You say, "Sure, sure, absolutely. I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. I'm just going to call you Richard from now on." Because on a one-on-one basis, we don't have a problem amending our behaviors to the needs of someone else. But for some reason, once we get onto the grand scale, if you tell somebody, "Hey, don't call me that. That's offensive to me. Don't refer to all women as bitches. That's offensive to me. Oh, don't take it so personally." No, 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 no. And sure, sometimes it's important to just step back and realize not everything's an aggression, not everything's an attack, and we can just forgive and forget. But it seems like a lot of the time, the responsibility to get over it always lies with the victim. Why is it that the perpetrators and the perpetrators' defenders think that their point of view is the only one that matters? That's the worst kind of entitlement. I can do whatever I want, and you just have to conform to me. Why isn't the purveyor of the maliciousness suggested to just get some empathy? Or grow a thicker heart? If I have to grow a thicker skin, you can grow a thicker heart, right? I find that most people who give the toughen up tiger speech are just those people who want to reserve the right to do whatever it is that they're doing for themselves. People will talk about, "Oh, I don't have anything I don't have anything bad to say about homosexuals, but I just was raised with saying that something is gay. Like when something's uncool, it's gay. That's just my way. It doesn't mean anything. You should just let it go. It's just words." No, it isn't. It's a pervasive attitude. It's terminology intended to marginalize a certain group of people by making what they are synonymous with uncool. You said it. So, if you want other people to accept and dismiss the aggressive behavior that you're willing to protect, then you should at least be willing to meet them halfway and maybe grow a little. Maybe take stock of what it is that you're defending, take stock of what it is that you're saying, and step back and say, "You know what? Maybe there's something else. Maybe I can be less aggressive. Maybe I can attack a little bit less and expect others to conform to me a little bit less." And yes, I am keenly aware that this video is an attack on certain people, and it is telling other people to conform to me. And to that, I say, suck it up, buttercup. Just get a little compassion, why don't you? Okay, well, that's all I had to say on the subject. So we will see you next time, and we'll go back to doing funny stuff.